All right, we are gonna take these out. So at this point, I'm still gonna let the pan cool down for another, just another minute or two, and then I'll throw our shallots and garlic in. And after about a minute of that, I'm gonna go ahead and throw in the wine and let that cook down. Okay, so we still have a little bit of butter, a little bit of the oil left over in the pan. So we're gonna go ahead and throw our shallots and garlic in there. Okay, and get those tossed around. And again, the idea is to saute these up and let them get nice and fragrant. So usually about 2 or 3 minutes, if even that. Not to burn them though, which is why I let the pan kind of cool. I mean, it's still pretty hot, but for now I still have it over a low heat. I said saute about a minute or two. Okay, and then whenever you are gonna add wine or something like that to a dish, usually you add that over a high heat because it cooks it off pretty quickly. It cooks the alcohol out of it. So it still leaves that flavor of it, but it cooks the alcohol out. Then the flavor will get absorbed into our garlic and our shallots right now. So, they're smelling pretty strong. I'm gonna throw that heat up to about medium-high. We let that go about another 30 seconds, and then we'll pour in our white wine. Again, if you're not using wine at this point, we'll add the chicken broth. All right, I'm gonna throw in that wine. I have about, I don't know, about a half cup. Okay. Put my fan back on. Cool. Let's just let that go for about a minute. I'm gonna pour in the broth. Now I like to make a little extra of our sauce because we also toss the pasta in it. I'll leave that up to you. If you just want enough to drizzle on your chicken, that's fine. I'm gonna throw in probably about a cup and a half of the broth. You can do a half cup to a cup. That's up to you. And again, you can do it over gluten-free pasta, regular pasta, mashed potatoes. Probably can do it over rice. If you like, I've never done it that way, but I'm sure you can. All right, so there we go. You can see quite a bit of that has evaporated, but yet it still puts that flavor into the onions and the garlic. So now, let's go ahead and put in chicken broth. The heat to medium. You do want it to kind of bubble. Let's go ahead and throw in our lemon juice again. We're doing about half a lemon, depending on the size of your lemon. As always, just give it a taste. If you want more lemon in it, add more. Ooh. Got just a little seeds coming out. Got in there. Go. All right, so let's bring this to, come on, there we go. So at this point, we want to go ahead and bring that to a nice bubble. Okay. Starting to boil around the edges. I'm gonna go ahead and throw in my capers. I'm gonna do, I don't know, probably about 2 good tablespoons, maybe a little bit more, into there. I had drained some of the brine out of them. You want a little bit in there, just not too much. All right, and while that's coming to a simmer, this is a good time to check our green beans. So I am going to take our green beans out. Yep, they're looking good. Starting to blister up here a little bit. I'm going to use the same tongs because we are throwing it back in the oven at this point. Toss them around. Okay, spread them back out. All right, and then back in the oven they go. All right, this is bubbling up pretty good. I'm gonna do some fresh black pepper. Just a little sprinkle of salt. Remember, the capers are kind of briny, not necessarily salty, but they are briny, vinegary, if you will. So you don't want to overdo it. All right, make sure you're scraping that bottom of that pan. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and throw some of the cornstarch mixture that I have in here to thicken it. Again, you're not looking for a super thick sauce, but you want it to kind of hold up to your chicken and onto the pasta. So, I'm only going to do half right now. Obviously, if you thicken it too much, add a little bit more broth or a little bit of water. If it's not thick enough, well, a little bit more of the cornstarch. But you want to wait, after each addition, you kind of want to wait, bring it back to a bubble, let it simmer, and see how much it'll thicken it up. Okay, so it is simmering pretty good. It's still pretty thin though. I'm gonna turn my heat down a little bit, and I'm gonna go ahead and add the rest of that cornstarch mixture. And at this point, I'll leave it up to you. If you feel like you need to still add a little bit more after this, that's fine. Again, just don't throw your dry cornstarch right into here. Make sure you mix it into some water first or some broth. Okay. And if you are adding a little bit of the heavy cream, that'll also thicken it. So at this point, I would throw a little bit of that in there, turn your heat down, and throw a little bit of that in there, and then see how much it thickens it. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and, because I have it, I'm gonna throw a little Parmesan in. You don't have to, no problem. So it is a little bit thicker. Okay. And then as always, taste it for salt. Remember, you got the lemon and capers, so you may not need to add a ton, but give it a taste. And at the end here, I am gonna add about another 1.5 to 2 tablespoons of butter. Let that melt in, and then I'm gonna put my chicken cutlets back in there and let them simmer and finish cooking. And then at that point, you're kind of ready to plate everything up. I am going to, I'm gonna turn the oven off on our green beans and pull those out because those look to be about done. Again, I like them so that they're still a little bit crunchy. Okay, so I got it to a pretty good consistency that I like for it. So at this point, we are gonna take our chicken, put it back in there, and we're gonna let these simmer just for a couple minutes on each side. Finish cooking them, they'll get nice and hot. Okay, so I pulled the green beans out, okay? You see they're kind of wilted a little bit. At this point, we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna do it right in this pan. Let's drizzle our brown butter over the top. Okay, get all that out of there. And we're gonna give a little squeeze of lemon and then toss those around. So that'll be our little side dish with it. And again, do whatever vegetable you like. If you wanna do a salad, that's fine too. We're not going to tonight because we're doing salad tomorrow night. So there is your green beans for on the side. And we just need to let these just simmer for a couple minutes on each side, and then we are ready to plate up our meal. All right, so while our chicken is finishing simmering, it should just be another 2-3 minutes here to finish cooking it through. I am gonna go ahead and just warm up the pasta. It's actually still warm from me cooking it. I thought I was gonna toss it in with the sauce, but I think I'm just gonna leave it on the side. So to warm it up, I threw just a splash of water in here, maybe 1/8 of a cup to lay on the bottom, and I turned my heat on like a medium-low. So that'll warm up that water on the bottom, and then we'll be able to just toss it around, and that'll warm up your pasta for when our chicken is ready. So again, this just takes a couple minutes. If you feel like you need more of the sauce, Once again, just throw in some more broth, and if you need to use a little bit more of the cornstarch, just add that into it. Again, we like to have a little extra because we're gonna put it right on top of that pasta. Okay, I've had the pasta warming up, again, just like 2-3 minutes over like a medium heat. So I can hear it sizzling in there, toss it around again with that hot water. All right, and I think we are ready to plate. So I'm going to grab my plate out of the microwave because I warmed them up. Okay. So we'll take some of that angel hair, or spaghetti in my case, again. That's what we had. Let's get it on that plate. A nice pile like that. I am going to take 2 of the smaller pieces of chicken that I had in here. Okay. This point, you're gonna take some of that sauce, spoon it over that pasta too, so it gets that flavor down in there. Okay. Take a little bit of it, get those capers right on top of the chicken. Some of the garlic slices are in there. And then some of our lemon brown butter green beans right on the side. And if you like, a little extra lemon to go on top. We'll throw that right over the top of there. And there you have it, your chicken piccata or salmon or shrimp, whatever you're making it with, over pasta or mashed potatoes and some roasted green beans. Enjoy.